Okay. So I think we cut off at slide 4, correct? Oh, you have to restart it. Okay. Slide 1. I have given you the new apartment. Just draw the walls, the floors, no doors and no windows. Draw the stairs, the kitchen and the bathroom. This slide shows us this apartment being drawn. So the walls, the floors, the kitchen, stairs and bathroom, and no windows and doors. In slide 2, we zoom into where there's a red circle. And then here we show this being drawn. So the fire and the ice cube. And then there's this red zigzag arrow. And on the text on this slide is thermal bridges are a problem. Slide 3. In slide 3, we cut the structure in the middle and we insert this break. Slide 4, flame grows, the flame gets stronger, and then there's like a little cat next to it, sitting cozy next to it. There's a red zigzag arrow pointing at the thermal break. Then the ice stops melting and there's like a little penguin skating on it. And the text on this slide is thermal breaks are the solution. Slide 5, we zoom out to see the whole apartment and then we insert those little blue breaks, but make them look a little bit prettier. And then we insert those breaks into where there's the black circle. We insert them, tick, 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 and then that's it. And then we get to the second slide. On the second slide, we show a fresh scene on white, no apartments here. We show just a man is shown in the scene wearing a green woolly jumper. He's being drawn on the screen with a little animation showing him tugging on the jumper. So on this animation, we see the little man pushing the jumper to make it, he's trying to stretch it and make it longer. Then he's trying to wrap it around the jumper, he's trying to wrap the jumper around the unit for insulation. You don't have to show too much of detail, probably that's really hard. So just show him tugging on his jumper, and then this jumper starts to be wrapped. A green highlights the envelope of the building. So it just wraps up and inserts into the breaks that we have already drawn. These were our breaks. So the green, the thick green line covers it all. Okay? And the text on this screen is insulation works for your house as well as your body. So slide 1 on insulation. We see a white screen, man wearing his jumper, making it stretch. And then slide 3, we see the whole apartment that was already sketched previously, and then the insulation is added to it. Doors and window. Here we see the whole apartment. So here we already saw this apartment, and now we saw the text works, insulation works for your house as well as your body. And then that goes, and then we get doors and windows are being drawn as 3 layers, so we can show that to indicate it's a triple glazing. Then we indicate there's 3 lines drawn as doors and windows here. That's the door, that's the window. And then the sun ray hits the windows, right doors, and bounces it. So like a red ray, an arrow, just a heat ray bouncing off. And then on that slide we say, triple glazing keeps you warm in winter and cool in summer. And then air tightness. Now we show how we see what a layer of foam being drawn in between the white gaps and structures. Zoom into the door sill. Okay. So this is going to be very similar to the thermal breaks. So now we've seen this apartment and we can show like some white gaps here, some gaps, white gaps in where there's the thermal breaks. We zoom into this one and then we show like a gap. We show like a little white gap into this one. And then we write the text for this one is, sorry, 1 second. The text for this one is that slide when we see this apartment, and then we zoom into this, and then we write what enters the gaps in your home, and then we can write here, we can draw not write. So after we've got here what text, and we're zoomed into this, we can show cold in winter, like something like a little animated concept similar to thermal break infographic, hot in summer, something similar like the hot heat can enter through this gap, pests, the spiders from like that little character that I've linked here, what can enter through when there's gaps in your house. And then what we do to seal it off, we close it with like a white foam. like a white thick marker, covers it. Okay? And then we cover all the breaks if there's any gaps. So we draw only gaps in this one. No need to draw gaps anywhere else. After we see this unit, this whole slide, we zoom into this. When we zoom into this, we write the text, what enters the gaps in your home, and then we just show like all these little animations in here, all these little things that can enter, like cold air, hot air, spiders, and then to close it off, we get a foam and shut it down. We shut the gap so nothing comes in. That's for your air tightness. Your HRV. Your HRV, I will send you the HRV, but I have not sent that because you have not shown me the previous slides. I will send that as soon as you send me some of the slides. Send me at least slide 1. That's not slide 1, that's 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 5 slides here. There's 2 slides here. There's 2 slides here. Show me all of them, and then leave the HRV to the last. And then I'll send you this, and I'll explain this in more detail of what happens on this image. Because this one, I will explain it to you once I send you the HRV, and then you understand it pretty well. And this one's also very simple. After we've done the HRV, all we draw here is some furniture and some people having a nice party. Adults. That's it. That's it. And the closing credits. The last thing we have is get in touch to find out more about Australia's first passive house apartment, and we have the phone number, email address, and I'll provide that later. Just first, at least finish the air tightness, the doors and window, the insulation, and the thermal breaks. At least do these four pages, and then we can move on to the HRV, which I can help you, and the furniture, which I can also help you. Yes, of course. So after you've drawn this updated apartment here, this is after here we show slide 1. We've shown it being sketched. This is the same apartment you're going to be using for all of them. After you've sketched that, I've sent that to you already. So after you've sketched that, then you use it here again, and then you show the insulation being wrapped around the thermal break that we've already inserted. And then that same apartment is drawn here. Again, not drawn, it's just on the screen because we already drew it previously. The only thing we draw here now is the doors and windows. The same apartment. We also don't redraw it because it's already been drawn now. We've already got doors and windows. We've got the insulation. We've got the thermal break. All we have to draw now here, show there's a gap, there's an opening, and show heat and cold and spiders getting inside, and then we close it off. The same apartment is also here. So it's all the same apartment. It's just we keep adding more stuff to it. First we draw the skeleton only. Then we add doors and windows. Then we add furniture. You know what I mean? Yes, and it's really good. The title page is really good. So we're getting there. It's just taken us some time. So just have what is passive house, and then straight away check out how it makes the phone so special, and then have the logos. SA logo, Fern logo. But you're doing great. It's just taking so much time. Is your friend taking a lot of time to sketch the drawings?